What's up, guys? Well, in this video, I just want to talk a little bit about placer mining and hard rock mining. I know I mentioned it in the past about getting into hard rock mining in some of my videos. Well, guys, to tell you the truth, I'm really more into placer mining than I am hard rock mining. But there is a reason that I have talked about getting into hard rock mining. The difference between hard rock mining and placer mining is hard rock mining is when you go straight to the source. You go to the mountain. You go to where the gold was deposited in the vein. Now, placer mining is all the gold that has eroded away from the vein, got dumped into the river and been carried down the stream and deposited to wherever it lays today, or wherever it lays in the old time miners got it. Like if you watch the Gold Rush show on TV, all those guys up in the Yukon and up in Alaska, they're all mining placer gold, which means gold that has broke away from its source. Now, placer mining is a lot more affordable to get into, guys. It's a lot cheaper. You can start out with just a pan, a sluice box. Now, when you get into hard rock mining, it's a little more costly because, well, you need a lot more equipment. You're drilling holes through the mountains, you're breaking off rock, you're blowing out the mountain with some dynamite if you got the permits and stuff to do so. And there is other stuff now that's a little bit easier to get than dynamite. That's a little bit more, I guess, legal for the everyday guy to get, but I imagine the real deal dynamite works the best. Anyways, guys, I've talked about getting into hard rock mining because, well, when I was looking for a claim, when I got an Idaho claims book from a company called the Western Mining Alliance, which is kind of pretty interesting because the folks who run Western Mining Alliance are also from Illinois, and they're pretty close to the area that I live right now, so I thought that was pretty interesting. Anyways, guys, the guy told me, he goes, if you really want to get some gold mining, he's like, look into hard rock mining. That's kind of what my first interest in hard rock mining was, just because somebody suggested it to me. And I do know that if you go after the source of the gold and you find an old hard rock mine that's still producing, which I 100% believe there's a lot of good gold mines, placer and hard rock mines that are just sitting empty out there. Now, you can go prospecting for a mine, placer or hard rock mining, and you can look all day and you might not find anything, but that doesn't mean that they're not out there. So you just got to keep searching, you got to keep looking, because I 100% believe that they're out there. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about placer mining and hard rock mining. The biggest difference between placer mining and hard rock mining is, well, when you're hard rock mining, you're going straight to the source. You're drilling holes through the mountain, you're digging into the mountain, you're busting off rock. And guys, most of the time, this type of work costs a lot more money to get into because you need a lot of equipment that costs a lot of money. However, hard rock mining can be very profitable, and it can be very, very worth the reward if you have the right piece of ground. Now, that's just the truth in any gold mining operation, whether you're placer mining or you're hard rock mining. Now, I won't lie to you guys, I have a little bit of a fear about going into the mountains and stuff like that and drilling into the mountains and going into the tunnel and working underneath the ground. However, I think I can overcome my fear, and I think that I could be a hard rock miner and I could get involved in it. However, guys, as interested as I am in hard rock mining, my first choice of mining is placer mining, guys. And that's stuff that has already broke away from the hard rock. That's stuff that has leached away. It has eroded off the hard rock. It has been deposited into the river. It has floated away. But somewhere that gold that has been broken off the mountain, all the gold that I've been finding placer mining, somewhere up the river, there is a source for that gold, and that comes out of the hard rock. So to say that I won't be looking into hard rock mining in the future, that's a lie, because I do fully intend to go looking into hard rock mining. I just wanted to clarify a little bit for you guys out there that are new to this or maybe just interested in hearing. Hard rock mining is often referred to as lode mining, and there's a few different terms, but I usually say hard rock mining is either lode mining or hard rock mining, and that's what I call it. So like I said, hard rock mining is just going straight to the source. You're going to the vein that was deposited into the rock, and you're chipping it away, you're blasting it out, you're taking the ore and you're crushing it down. In some processes, you have to take some nitric acid and some acid material to leach that gold out of the rock, but in many cases, all you're doing is you're taking the ore out of the mountain, you're crushing it down, and this is where a little bit of the money gets started, because you got to buy a rock crusher, and then you have to have a mill. Once you get the material grounded down to powder, then it's just kind of like placer mining, because you're taking all the material and you're running it through the sluice box. The real work in hard rock mining is getting the ore out of the mountain, and a lot of old mines have rail tracks. You can see they used rail cars, and they took all the ore and they piled it up into the rail cars, and then they railed it out of the mountain, and then they crushed it down, and then they ran it through the sluice box. So It's a little bit more of a process, I guess you would say. Pretty much a little bit more work, I think, because you're blasting it out of the mountain and you're taking that ore out of the mountain. It's not like you're taking dirt out of the ground and then running it through the sluice box. You got to take it out of the mountain, chip it out, blast it out, get it out of the mountain, crush it down into powder, maybe run it through a nitric acid process. It really just depends what type of material that you're working with, and go from there. So hard rock mining does cost a little bit more money. However, it can be very rewarding. So I will be looking into that in the future, but I just wanted to clarify, guys, placer mining is probably what I'm going to end up doing a little bit more of. But eventually, I do believe that there will be a day when I look into hard rock mining. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Smash the sub button if you liked it, and I'll talk to you in the next one.